Welcome back, everyone. This is Chris again with Virtual Firearms Association. And as always, I'm bringing you free gifts as far as the free basic marksmanship enhancement class, as well as virtual targets. Those things are free from us to you. Pay attention for future updates because we probably will be adding to that list. So definitely pay attention to the comment section or the description down at the links of the video. Take advantage of those free things that we have to go. Let's go ahead and get started. Today, I wanted to talk about defensive shooting. Defensive shooting, which means is pretty much the last resort for you actually having to draw your firearm and pretty much eliminate the threat. Under no circumstances is it that you are to be the aggressor and to turn around and take somebody out. Defensive shooting is pretty much letting you know that you have no other option, last resort. This is the only way that you can either defend yourself, defend your family, or defend others before that potential threat could actually swarm in and potentially hurt you or other people. So let's just be clear with that, just when it comes to defensive shooting. So one of the first things that you just need to be aware about is situation awareness. So if you're in your household, your car, or out in public, or things like that, you need to make sure you know where everything is. Nobody knows your house or car or places like that better than you. All right. So you need to pay attention and actually practice some of these situations as far as where your firearms are located at. Are you someone that keeps one over there by your bed? Are you someone who actually has one of those biometrics where you have a fingerprint to actually unlock the safe? Practice to see how much time does it actually take for you to unlock that box and actually draw that weapon for that threat that's actually getting ready to come into your house or come into your room. Know exactly where your kid's bedroom's at, or your wife or your spouse or things like that. Know where they're at. Make sure that you practice these real life situations that if something potentially happens, you know they have a plan as far as where they go, where they can be as safe as possible, and what you're going to do in your response time that it'll actually take, that if need be, that you actually have to do it, that you may have to eliminate a threat. Also, train your spouse a little bit. Let them know, let them be aware as far as, or actually knowing where your firearm is, and let them get familiar with that weapon in case they have to use it because you're at work or whatever the situation. Always know where your stuff is at. Just do little dry runs. It may seem like it's a little corny or a little fun or it's not that serious, but it's not going to be that serious until that situation actually kicks off and it happens. Also, when it comes to that, you have to have quick decision making. So, with that quick decision making, is that you're going to have literally, it's going to feel like probably less than a second that you're going to have to make a decision on pull the trigger, put the gun away. Should I let him go? Should I run? Should I fight? Should I call the police? You have split-second decisions on what it is that you're going to do. So I encourage you to actually practice bringing the gun out of the holster, bringing the gun out of the holster. Practice going to that safe, unlocking the safe, unlock the safe. Put the weapon on you, draw the weapon, put the gun away. Practice different shooting angles and things like that from your bedroom. Practice telling your kids, hey, you know what? Use shelter, or wife and kids, y'all go to this room right here as a fall safe, and I'm gonna go ahead and deal with that threat. Also, scenario based. Practice some of the scenario based situations in which, for example, practice what a carjacking could possibly be. How would you handle a carjacking if you're a CCW carrier and you're driving the car and somebody walks up on you and says, "Hey," puts a gun to your head and says, "Hey, give me your car." What are you gonna do? Well, the first initial step will be just give them your car. Your life is more important than that car. Let insurance deal with that situation. But if it comes to the situation where that gun is to your head, or you're at the point where they're holding your gun and you feel that they are going to try to hurt you or harm you or your family, practice the situation as far as what is it going to do? How long is it going to take for you to pull your gun out of your concealed holster to try to take care of that threat who could potentially harm you or other people? Also, another scenario, this is something that we all do. Sitting down at a restaurant. That's one of the famous things. And I'm telling you, like me and my family, I'm never really at ease when it comes to sitting down at the restaurant because the thing is that not too many people are going to think exactly the same way that you are thinking. You always got to think defensive minded, especially if you are carrying a firearm on you. Okay, so sit with your back against the wall. Make sure nobody can run up behind you and try to do anything to try to hurt you that you don't see. Make sure you know where all the exits are and things like that. Practice the situation like, hey, honey, wife, kids, or spouse, kids. Is there any kind of situation as far as somebody coming through the door and they want to act crazy and shoot up the place or anything like that? Make sure you know where all your exits are so you can just pretty much just get out of there. And also make sure you know that how long is it going to take for you to basically get out of there? Preferably, you can get as close to the door as possible. That might be the best situation, so just so you can get out of there. Because the object is for you to just be able to leave and get home as safe as possible versus you having to sit up there and fight anyone. But sometimes you may be in a situation where you're forced, where your hand is forced and you actually have to defend yourself. So these are just some of the situations that you may find yourself in. But practice is the number one way to get better and better with these situations. Just think hypothetically, in your house, in a car, if you're somebody who rides a bus and you're walking down like a dark alley, in order to get to your house or to get to your job or to get to the next train stop, things like that. Always be aware as far as what's going on. Don't have any items in your hand. Make sure your hands are free. Make sure you are watching that suspicious person that is lurking over there in the corner. You know that, hey, it might be the best option for me to go ahead and be 15 minutes late or to miss that bus because I don't even want to deal with a situation in which that potential threat could possibly hurt me or my family. So having a gun on you or thinking defensive minded, it doesn't mean that you have to go out and be a superhero at the same exact time. Sometimes you just need to sit back and just make sure that you are safe before anything else, you and your family. And one of the ways of being safe is preventing yourself from being put in a situation that you don't need to be. You don't always have to fight every single battle. So, with these things in mind that I just said in here talked about, keep that in mind. Practice these scenarios over and over. Talk it over with your spouse, kids, things like that. Come up with a plan to make sure that your household and you are safe at all times. That's all I have for you this time. Until next time, stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good day.